Hello friends, my name is Kunal Kolani. I will explain you P2P cycle, that is Procure to Pay cycle. This Procure to Pay cycle is used in every business organization that is using ERP system. That's called Enterprise Resource Planning. This ERP system is having different processes. Procure to Pay is one process, Order to Sale is another process, Hire to Fire is another process. But I will focus only on Procure to Pay, that is from purchasing till payment. What will be the process? I will explain you in a better with practical example. So it will be easy for you. You don't need to remember. This ERP concept is developed from the concept of internal control system. Now what is internal control system? Internal control system is such a system in which work of one person is being checked by the another person in order to avoid errors, in order to avoid mistakes and to record transactions accurately, correctly. Right? So let's begin with the P2P cycle. Let's say there is a hypermarket in which there are different departments. May it be clothes, may it be electronics, furniture, etc. These all departments might be keeping inventory with them to make a sale to the customer. As and when this inventory gets consumed, they will raise a requisition. This requisition is raised to purchase department. Purchase department will evaluate that requisition form which is sent from particular department, and they will analyze what quantity they need or what item they need and what description they need. They will check everything. They will identify suppliers available in their region. They will check what suppliers are there. They will contact them. They will ask them. They will request them, please send us your quotation. We need this much quantity of goods. It may be any goods as per their requirement. If it's an hypermarket, it may be clothes, it may be grocery item, it may be electronic item. So every supplier to whom purchase department is contacted for quotation, they will send their respective quotation to the purchasing department. Now, here purchasing department, after receiving the quotations from different suppliers, will perform quotation analysis. Now, this quotation analysis means it is just a process of a purchasing department internally which checks whether the required terms and condition, the quality, the quantity, the price, what management needs, what purchasing department needs, what their business needs is suitable. They will check their all criteria. If any quotation is fitting in their criteria, they will select that supplier. After this quotation analysis, one final supplier among different suppliers will be selected to whom the order will be placed. Right? So first step was receiving requisition from department. Second step was contacting suppliers. Third step was quotation analysis, and fourth step was identifying final supplier from quotation analysis. Right? Now fifth step is raising a purchase order. This raised purchase order will be issued to the vendor which is selected, and when purchasing department is issuing purchase order to the supplier and if he is accepting, that becomes final commitment from his side to deliver us the goods. In purchase order, purchasing department will mention everything from where to deliver the item which they need, the quantity, the amount, the terms and condition, date and delivery time, everything they will mention in their purchase order. And based on that, vendor will check, evaluate, and he will supply that number of quantity at that price, at that per condition, terms and condition to their respective location. Right? So the organization who has given purchase order to the supplier, he will deliver goods to the respective location, whatever we have mentioned in the purchase order. Now that particular team may be warehouse team, right? Or it may be our factory location where we do manufacturing, right? They will receive the goods from supplier when supplier will deliver them the goods. They will check the purchase order. They will check other documents which supplier might send. If it is by transport, there might be freight carriers, everything they will check. They will check PO, and they will identify, physically evaluate the copy. They might be having their systems to record the receipt, registers, everything, invert register and all. After analyzing, they will prepare one goods receipt note. So warehouse team or factory warehouse will prepare one goods receipt note. That goods receipt note will be used for finance. So till here, after raising a purchase order and giving to the supplier, he will deliver goods to our location, and this warehouse team or this inventory team will prepare goods receipt note. Right? Here the receiving steps gets completed. After receipt, this warehouse team will document the all together. It may be purchase, it may be receipt, it may be other documents relevant showing details of physical quantity, or it may be anything relevant to the purchase of goods. They will compile together and will send it to the finance department. Finance department will check all the details, and supplier will directly send the invoice to the finance team. When warehouse team will send the document, there will not be any invoice, because supplier will send directly invoice to the finance department. Supplier should not send any invoice to the warehouse team. Reason being simple, the warehouse team should not be aware about the price and everything. They should don't have any contact with the supplier. This dealing negotiation should be done by finance department. That's called control, right? So supplier will send invoice to the finance team, and finance team will check invoice. They will compare with the goods receipt note. They will compare with price with the purchase order. If everything is matching correctly, they will approve that invoice. They will make their accounting entries, everything. And after, if there is an approval process, they will obtain the approval for the payment, and they will pass on that invoice for payment to the payment section. And that payment section will check all the required details. If it is okay, they will issue a check or make online payment, or may it be the mode of payment, they will make a payment to the vendor. Here it's the P2P cycle gets completed. Now let's summarize it. It's very easy, friends. Just think logically. The first step is requisition from department, right? The second step is purchasing team will identify supplier, right, and will request for quotation. The third step is purchasing department will do quotation analysis, right? And the fourth step is, based on quotation analysis, we will identify one vendor. After we have identified vendor, the fifth step will be raising of purchase order and giving it to the vendor. The sixth step will be supplying goods by vendor to our particular location, right? That's called receipt of goods, right? And our seventh step will be sending documents, PO, receipt and other document except invoice, from warehouse to the finance team. And finally, at eighth step, we will validate the invoice, we will approve it, and at ninth step, we will make payment to the supplier. So these are the 9 steps in P2P cycle, but you don't need to remember. Just think logically. It will be very easy for you. In next video, I will show you what is the P2P accounting, what journal entries are made in the accounts. I will explain you where the entries will be, right? Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.